Is David Hoppick in the meeting yet?
He is.
I'm here, Lloyd.
Okay. Thanks.
Mr. Chairman, we are live.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Maryland Public Service Commission. We are conducting a hearing on the record in the matter of case number 9056 and 9064 relating to standard offer service and bill impacts relating to SOS bids, standard offer service bids made on June 8th, 2020. Let's begin by taking appearances. Good afternoon, Mr. Spivak. Would you like to get us started?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, Lloyd Spivak for the Commission staff. With me today are David Hoppick of the Commission's Electricity Division and Frank Mossberg of Bates White LLC, the Commission's consultant for the SOS bidding.
Thank you. Are there any other parties who would like to be recognized on the record? Okay, were you able to get that, Mr. Executive Secretary? For me, he kind of broke up. Mr. Stegers.
I do believe I got Mr. Stegers. Yes, sir.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Stegers. Anybody else?
Good afternoon, William Fields for the Office of People's Counsel.
Thank you, Mr. Fields. Pause one more moment. Are there any other parties that wish to be recognized for the record?
Jasmine Kakar, BG.
Thank you. Any others? Hearing no others, Mr. Spivak, please proceed with your first witness.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Commission staff calls Frank Mossberg to the stand, please.
Secretary, would you please swear in the witness?
Mr. Mossberg, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear under the penalties of perjury that the statements made in this matter today are the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. The witness is sworn.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Mossberg.
Good afternoon.
Do you have in front of you a document captioned in Commission case numbers 9056 and 9064 titled Direct Testimony of Frank Mossberg, Bates White LLC, on behalf of the staff of the Public Service Commission of Maryland and dated with today's date?
I do.
Did you prepare this document or was it prepared under your direct supervision?
I did.
Does it consist of 8 pages of question and answer testimony and a 1-page exhibit?
Yes, it does.
Do you have any additions, deletions, or other corrections you would like to make at this time?
No, I do not.
And if the questions were asked of you now as they were asked in this document, would your answers be the same?
Yes, they would.
Do you adopt this document as part of your sworn testimony in this proceeding?
I do.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, staff requests Mr. Mossberg's testimony be marked as staff exhibit number 1 and admitted into the evidentiary record.
With no objection, Mr. Mossberg's testimony is so marked as staff exhibit number 1.
And Mr. Mossberg, can you please give us a brief summary of your testimony, please?
Sure. Good afternoon, commissioners. This is Frank Mossberg from Bates White. We're the commission monitor for your 2019-2020 standard offer service RFP, and here to talk about the bid day that happened this past Monday. I will note that in deviation from kind of traditional practice, we had a couple modifications for this bid day. These are the same modifications we had for April. The first is due to the ongoing COVID crisis. All bids were evaluated remotely. So all bids were submitted through a secure Bates White email address and distributed to utility evaluators only after the bidding window closed. In addition, because there is no capacity price after June 2022, we again used a proxy capacity price for that time period based on the results of past bid days. Again, these are the same modifications we used in April. We would recommend that you accept the results of this past Monday's bid day, and we say so for 4 reasons. First, the bidding was open, fair, and transparent. All bids, including the bids from utility affiliates, were for the same product and evaluated solely on the basis of price. Second, prices were consistent with broader market conditions. There were no bids rejected due to the implementation of the price anomaly threshold, or PAT. Third, the bid was competitive, and here I can offer a couple metrics. First, in terms of number of bidders, we had 10 bidders. That compares to 8 bidders last January. I'm comparing mostly to January because we were looking for a similar slate of products. The April bid day had more residential supply, which tends to bring out more participants. Also on the lines of competition, we saw 5.4 megawatts bid for every megawatt needed. That compares to 4.2 megawatts bid for every megawatt needed in January. And we saw 6 winners. That compares to 7 winners in January. So all those are strong metrics. Finally, all commission rules and regulations were followed, and all bids were evaluated in the manner laid out in the RFP. We were able to independently evaluate the winners and winning prices, and independently monitor the notifications of bidders. That concludes my opening statements. I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Mott. Are there any questions? Hearing none. Is there a question? Hearing none, the witness is accepted. Mr. Beback.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The commission staff calls David Hoppock.
I'm ready.
Mr. Hoppock, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear under the penalties of perjury that the statements made in this matter today are the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
The witness is sworn.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Hoppock.
Good afternoon.
Do you have in front of you a document captioned in commission case numbers 9056 and 9064, titled "The Commission Staff's Report on the Standard Offer Service Bidding Process and Results for 2020 through 2022, and dated with today's date"?
I do.
Does the document consist of 10 pages of information provided in both text and table form?
It does.
Do you have any additions, deletions, or other corrections you would like to make at this time?
I do not.
Did you prepare this document, or was it prepared under your direct supervision?
I did.
Do you adopt this document as part of your sworn testimony in this proceeding?
I do.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, staff requests that the commission staff report be marked as Staff Exhibit 2, and further moves that it be admitted into the evidentiary record.
Without objection, Mr. Hoppock's staff report is marked as Staff Exhibit 2 and will be moved into evidence.
Thank you. Mr. Hoppock, can you please give us a brief summary of the staff report?
Will do. Thank you. Good afternoon, commissioners. I will provide an overview of staff's report of the estimated bill impacts of the standard offer service bidding conducted on Monday, June 8th, 2020. Standard offer service bids were received for Type 2 service and Potomac Edison residential service. I will begin with Potomac Edison residential. Please turn to page 2 of my comments. The bill impact estimates on page 2 compare average estimated bills for residential customers for Potomac Edison from June 2020 to May 2021 to June 2021 to May 2022. The average residential bill will increase 5.3%, which translates to approximately $79 per year. The standard offer service portion of the bill is increasing 10.4%. Next, I will review the Type 2 estimated average bill impacts. Please turn to page 3. This compares estimated bills from September through November 2019 to September through November 2020. Additionally, a comparison of the SOS rates from summer to fall is provided. An overview of results for the 4 utilities is provided on page 3. Please turn to page 6 for Potomac Edison. Potomac Edison average Type 2 bills for fall 2020 decline 2% from fall 2019. Standard offer service rates are decreasing approximately 1% from summer to fall. Please turn to page 7 for BGE, or Baltimore Gas and Electric. BGE average Type 2 bills for fall 2020 show an increase of 4 to 7% relative to fall 2019. And standard offer service rates are increasing 1 to 4% from summer to fall. Please turn to page 8 for Delmarva Power and Light. Average bills for Delmarva for fall 2020 show little change from fall 2019. Standard offer service rates are decreasing approximately 1% from summer to fall. Finally, please turn to page 9 for Potomac Electric Power Company, or PEPCO. PEPCO average Type 2 bills for fall 2020 show little change from fall 2019, and standard offer service rates are increasing approximately 3% from summer to fall. This concludes my summary, and I am available for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Hoppick. Do commissioners have questions for Mr. Hoppick? Hearing none, the witness is excused. Mr. Spivak, do you have anything further for us?
No, Mr. Chairman, staff has nothing further.
Okay. Do any of the other parties wish to be heard at this time? Hearing none, this hearing is adjourned.
Thank you, commissioners.